Welcome back. Welcome back to day 3 of this Radical Ritual Masterclass series. It's so great to be with you again. Welcome, everyone. We're into day 3. How are you feeling so far? Tell me in the comments below. Tell me in the chat here on Zoom. How has this experience been for you? What have you noticed about yourself? What have you noticed about the playfulness of this practice? What have you noticed about the organization, meaning the system of this practice, the 4 parts of the radical ritual? What have you noticed about our discussions? It's important to write these things down because what you write down, your brain, your mind pays attention to, and this is really important. Why is it important that we pay attention to what we decide is important? Well, if you don't decide what's important to you, if you don't figure out a way to pay attention to it, the world will decide what's supposed to be important to you. And the world will make sure you pay attention to that and not what you want to pay attention to. Your attention is the most valuable possession you own in terms of society and this vast, deep connection that we have with each other. You might argue that the most important thing that you have when it comes to you as an individual is your soul or spirit. But being plugged into a very complex society, your attention, your ability to focus on something is what marketers are spending millions of dollars a year on, what big companies are really working on the psychology of and understanding the human body and the brain in order to make sure that they have your attention. So now I think that the most important asset that you can learn to harness and figure out and crack the code of is your attention. Let's talk about why for just a moment. And then we're going to get into a radical ritual practice. And then I want to end today's session a little bit different than days 1 and days 2 and offer you a guided meditation to my soul method. I think we're going to have time for that. My soul method is a beautiful meditation practice that allows you to have harmony between the head, the brain, and the mind and body in order to experience limitless power and limitless connection. And that's a really important feeling to have as you're embarking on a new challenge, as you're heading towards your goals and your dreams. We want to feel like we're limitless. We want to feel like there's nothing holding us back. We want to feel like we're supported and connected to everyone around us. Those are important feelings to have. So I'm going to teach you a meditation that'll get you there. Focus. Focus is important. Your ability to focus on a task is what gets you into a flow state. Have you heard of a flow state before? Flow is typically, and neuroscientists, cognitive neuroscientists describe flow as a state where you are working on something that is just slightly challenging. It's slightly beyond what you're used to. It's slightly beyond what you've already learned. So we're challenging the brain a little bit, right? And that should sound familiar from day 1. Challenge is really important. Challenge and novelty are the 2 things that will always arouse your nervous system and get you locked into the moment and wake you up, so to speak, so that you are actually engaged in the moment. Being engaged in the moment is what allows us to feel like we're learning, being a part of something, that we're showing up for ourselves, and it can stimulate our passion, our joy again. And then from there, when we feel like we're progressing, we ultimately will land in a place that feels a lot like happiness. And happiness, well, it's a great thing. Happiness is something that we could use more of, isn't it? Let me ask you that. In all honesty, could you use a bit more happiness in your life? A lot of people right now are in a slump, it seems like, with resources, with positivity, with abundance mindset. Even the best of us, sometimes it seems like right now that there's a little bit of a dip in our energy and our focus and in our enthusiasm in our optimism, and that is natural, but we can't stay there long. You're a high performance person. I'm a high performance person. You're someone who is passionate and multi-passionate, and you're someone who has a lot of gifts to share, whether that's going out into your community and selling something that you've created, you're an entrepreneur, or whether that's being the best mom, being the best dad, being the best parent, being the best sister, being the best friend, being the best boss of these employees, being the best employee for your boss, for your team, whatever that is, whatever roles you play on this planet and this lifetime, there's someone that needs you. There's someone that really relies on the energy you show up with every day. Do you realize that? And so this conversation that we're having, these skills that I'm teaching you, are about the difference between you recognizing that every day or not. And if you don't recognize that, if you choose not to bring that into your awareness field and actually let it move you emotionally, well, then you're going to be a sleepy person your entire life. And sleepy people don't contribute a lot to life. They just don't. And on top of that, they continue to build the habit of being sleepy and going on autopilot. And those are people that end up really sad and sometimes really alone. Not to make this a doomsday sad scenario for you, but I don't want that for you. Let me ask you, what do you want for you? Don't you want to feel like you're contributing? Wouldn't it be nice if you woke up every day with the awareness, at least, of how important you are and the influence that you have on the people around you? Certainly those of you who have kids, I hope, can reflect on the fact that you have incredible influence, not only on this generation, your child, but future generations to come, because that individual, your child's going to grow up and have a lot of impact on the people around them. And so who you're raising is important, and who you're deciding to be every day as a parent is important. And yeah, there's a weight there of woe and responsibility. But remember, responsibility, if you've been hanging out in my field for a little bit and watching videos and paying attention and listening to my podcast, you know that responsibility is the ability to respond. That's all. It's not a death sentence. It's not a punishment. It's not a parental figure wagging their finger of, you should have been responsible. No, responsibility is an intention. It's an energy. It's an awareness. It's a way of being in the world. To be responsible is to be able to respond. And that's actually a beautiful thing. That's actually a powerful thing. That's actually a thing that can bring us into a state of joy and excitement for our life. Oh, cool. I've got the ability to respond here, and I'm not. Why not? Let me think about that. What's blocking me? Because if I'm able to respond, I might be able to change someone's mind. I might be able to change someone's mood. I might be able to influence someone. You are absolutely able to respond. And for some of you, it's just a lot more than you realize. And so this is a call for you to get excited about your life again, because time is ticking by. And today could be the day you make a real change in your life, and you could totally change. One day is all it takes, you guys. One day is all it takes to make a radical change in your life where you are affecting positive change. You're like a stone being thrown into a still pond. You create a ripple, and that ripple goes out in all directions. It affects all people. Whether or not you actually see them physically in the day, you affect one person and that person goes out. You've heard of the butterfly effect. That's what that is. We have to get back to understanding that that is the simplest law of the universe. A law of the social complexity of our life is that it's not complex at all. It's actually really simple. It's that you choosing to wake up every day and do this work with me, you choosing every day to wake up and remind yourself of have the awareness that you affect great and small change that leads to medium change, and medium change that leads to big change every day by deciding who you're going to be. Now, part of deciding who you're going to be is by giving your attention to the thought of who you're going to be. So again, we're come back to attention. It's a really important and valuable resource. You have to look at and become aware of, where is my attention? Most of us just don't have a mechanism or a plan built into the day for peering in on your attention and going, why is it there again? It needs to be over here. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you a real grounding example of that and teach you how to practice it. Now, know, first of all, that in order to peer in and look at your attention and where it's at, we're really talking about developing what the yogis refer to as the witness consciousness, the watcher, the observer, the one that's watching from a distance. And that's you. You have two sort of modes inside of you. You are the one breathing, and you're the one who can watch yourself take a breath. Let's try it together. Take a breath in and out. So you understand right now that you are the one who is breathing. You can feel your lungs moving. You can feel the air molecules brushing the nasal hairs, and you can then sense that the air is moving, rushing in and out of your nostrils. If you know something about respiration, you might think about the alveoli sacs in the lungs and the exchange of O2 and CO2. And you might not be able to feel that, but you have awareness of it, and you got this understanding of breathing, and you're like, yep, I am definitely the one who's breathing right now. And you're correct. But then there's one more part of you. There's one more piece that takes a little bit of practice to develop. We develop the awareness of you breathing over time through meditation, through stilling of the mind, through stilling of the body, and a deepening of our concentration. It's really juicy. It's really beautiful. It's really peaceful. And it's really important that you develop the watcher, you develop this witness consciousness, because the witness consciousness is sort of like the guard. Which witness consciousness is someone who is like the awakened Buddha inside of you. It is the watcher. It is the wise part of you that peers in and watches the breath move as if it was happening to someone else. And I think that's the key phrase that's going to help you feel for it. Those of you that don't have experience with it, that's okay. I just want you to know what it kind of feels like. It's as if you're watching someone else's body take a breath in and out. And that might sound bizarre at first, but if you stick with it, those of you that have more experience with meditation, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you stick with it, you will eventually understand what I'm talking about, and it won't take you long, I promise. Because there's you, the body, you taking a breath. And if you keep doing that, there is a part of you that can actually watch you taking a breath. And so at that point, you're not really focused on the physical sensation so much. And you're not really thinking, I'm breathing, but you're just watching the breath. You're just watching the breath. And it's almost as if you're watching someone else take a breath in and out. So imagine that. Imagine you're not you. I know that sounds weird, but try. You're not you. You're just the witness. And you're like a camcorder or a recorder, or okay, I just revealed my age. Or you're like someone who has a cell phone and you're going around and you're recording someone. Okay. If you're the camera, if you're the phone recording, you have no emotion. You have no sense of I. The camera's not like, this is me recording. Hello, I have a subjective self here. Not at all, right? The camera is just objective. It's just filming the subject. It's just recording the material. It's recording the content, right? And the same way, we have to be like that when we are the witness consciousness, when we are the observer. We are objective, just like the camera. We don't care about, am I breathing or not, or who's breathing. We just record the subject breathing. That's the most similar to the witness consciousness. And I want you to feel that eventually, because it's really important. Why is that important? Because when you develop this witness consciousness, you are going to get to a place where you pay attention to what your person is paying attention to. And you're going to find these moments where you're stuck on and you're paying attention to things that are not of value. You're going to be paying attention to things that are ruminating and are not of high energy, and they're actually pretty low energy, and they're actually pretty scarcity based, and they're actually a little bit fear based. They're actually a little bit comparison based, and they don't feel good. And you'll notice in those moments, how do I feel? You'll ask. How does my human beingness feel in those moments? And you'll say contracted. I don't feel good. And again, you just witness it, right? This is the joy of having a witness consciousness, is that we're not in the person having the moment. We're on the outside, like the phone, like the camera. Okay. And we're going, oh, this person just noted that they don't feel good about it. They feel a little constricted. They feel a little contracted. They feel like they've shrunk in their power by having this particular thought. And so in that moment, you have the most powerful tool ever at your disposal. In that moment of awareness, are you with me? In the moment of awareness, by being the witness consciousness, by being the observer, you're actually able to look in and witness your humanness in a trap, stuck in a rut, so to speak, of this negative thinking, which is producing negative feelings. And you just notice it all. And when you notice it, you have choice. Choice is so powerful. Choice is so powerful. And a lot of us, we feel weak. We feel like we're disempowered. A lot of us don't feel like we love our lives because we actually don't feel like we have choice anymore. Somewhere along the way, someone robbed us of choice. It was really you all along, actually. No one really comes along and robs you of your choice, especially here in the United States. That's important geographically. I do understand it takes a little bit of awareness of understanding. Well, it's a privilege that we have here in the US. It certainly is. So a lot of you are fooling yourselves that you don't have choice. You really do. It's just the subjectivity. We're so in the subjectivity. We're so in the story about our deficit and our pain and our trauma and our wounds and the story of our life that we don't like. We're so entrenched. We're stuck in this. We're saturated fully through and through with the story about how we've got no choice. It's just the way it is. And it becomes our prison. But you have choice always, but you just don't have the awareness that you have choice. Do you see what I'm saying? You need the awareness that you have choice. And the only place to get the awareness that you have choice is to step out of your subjective experience and to step back from your humanness is going through it, not avoid. I'm not saying avoid, okay? That's bypassing. We don't want to buy it. We can be our human and have the difficult experience. We can be in the situation of I'm broke, all right, I'm sick, or I just got fired, or they just left my ass, right? Like we can have all that. And at the same time, listen to me, at the same time, this isn't an or, this is an and. Cool, right? At the same time, and we can be over here, the witness. We can be over here, observing without any emotion. We can have the emotion, and we can also have moments of without emotion. Now, this is really beautiful. This is an important practice. Guess what? You are a human being who can do this. If you had no ability to do this, you would not be a human being. So what I'm teaching you right now, listen. What I'm teaching you right now is the very hallmark of human consciousness. The fact that we can do this means that you should do this, probably, right? You should at least try it out. All of us were walking around really practicing negativity. And we're like, well, I can do that really well. No one's walking around saying that, but you can. And I applaud everyone, including myself. Yeah, we can be very negative all day long, and we're really well practiced in that. Congratulations. How about now we practice something else? How about now we practice some positivity? How about now we practice becoming aware of what we're paying attention to? Because like I said earlier, what you pay attention to affects, actually, I didn't say this earlier. I said it was the most important commodity you have in our social environment. That's true. So we got to start paying attention to what we're paying attention to. We got to become the observer so that we could keep a watchful, loving eye. No judgment, but we watch. Am I ruminating again? Okay. Am I stuck over here again on that thought? Am I comparing myself again? Am I watching this news channel again? It's totally stuck on the negativity of the world? Am I obsessing over that? That's already happened in the past. Am I stuck in this sadness loop again? Am I jealous again? Am I fearful again? Am I just mindlessly scrolling again? What am I doing? What is my human doing again? The only place you can get to that is from the witness consciousness. And then from the witness consciousness, stay with me, from the witness consciousness, you have choice. You then get to decide what the heck to do about it. Do I want to stay here? Well, okay, if you decide you want to stay there, the next thought is, well, after you decide, what do I want to do about it? You need to have a follow-up thought. Well, if I decide to do that, if I decide to stay here, what are the outcomes of that? This is an important part of progressing your thought. These are an important part of changing up your thinking. So pay attention to this and write notes, take notes, give notes to yourself. I don't know that we take notes. We might be giving notes to ourselves. So when we ask the question, what do I want to do here? Most of us stop with, well, I want to feel better. I don't want to have the ruminating negative thought. Perfect. But then I want you to take it one step further. I want you to take it one step further and ask another question of, and then what will be the outcome of that? And then your outcome of, well, I suppose getting myself out of this negative rut and having a positive thought is I'll feel better. And then ask it again. And then what's the outcome of that? Well, if I feel better, I probably will just be more pleasant. I'm really critical today of people. Okay, then ask it again. And why is that important that you're less critical of people today? Well, because if I'm in a better mood and I'm less critical, well, I'll feel better about myself, but I'll probably help others feel better about themselves too. And I'll actually be more constructive rather than just critical. Okay, then ask it again. And why is that important? Well, because if I'm more constructive, I can build people up and I can actually help them become better at what it is they do really well. And that's me influencing people in a positive way. Yes. And then you can keep going and keep going. Most of us stop, tell me if you agree, at the first one. We recognize, okay, I don't want to be in this feeling anymore, negativity and worry. It's gripping me. It feels nasty in my body. And I hear you. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. And running a business full time, I'm there quite often, actually. Practicing this doesn't make you immune to your human. Remember, it's and not or. Practicing this doesn't make us immune to all the woes and difficulties and challenges of life. I'm still a human all day long, but I have this awareness and I practice this daily. So the difference, the difference between us and say someone else who is not listening to this at all, who is not trying to better their life at all, the difference is that they're going to feel mad and they're going to stay there because they make their story the only experience on this planet. But when we develop a way of being where we can peer in on our lives, we can peer in and on our human, and we can ask the magic question. Do you know what the magic question is? If you've been with me before, you probably know this. And the magic question is there another way to be in this moment? Is there another way to be in this moment? A little fuzzy there. There we go. I had to get back into focus. Is there another way to be in this moment? I love that question so much. It just completely why does it feel so good? Because it represents options. It represents choice. Choice, having the ability to choose something other than the state you're in, is power. Yes? Of course it is. The ability to choose is power. And the ability to choose and know why you're choosing what you're choosing. What is the outcome of choosing what I'm choosing? This is the difference between someone who's just going on autopilot and someone who's really a high performer in their life, someone who's really at the helm of their ship, someone who's really in charge of their life and feeling really happy and turned on. This is so important, you guys. When you're on autopilot, you miss really important moments. When you're on autopilot, you miss out because we're over here just doing the same darn thing over and over again. And meanwhile, life is right here going, there's a really fantastic moment with your kids. There's a really fantastic moment with your partner. There's a moment, there's a sunset here. You should go. There's a deer in your backyard. You might want to just stare at it for a little bit. Oh my gosh, there's the morning dew on the grass. Have you stared at that for a little bit? Oh, there's an opportunity, a friend calling again who just wants to check up on. There's all these moments in life that are like one step removed beyond our autopilot. And it seems like such work to turn our attention to it. But the thing is, what happens when you do? What happens when you break autopilot and you do the thing that, see, I don't really want to, but you go anyhow to the party, or you go anyhow out to dinner with your friend, you go anyways to the meeting, the social event, and something happens inside of you. Maybe you didn't have the time of your life that was promised, but you did something different. Remember day one, novelty. Novelty wakes us up inside. And a lot of us are sleeping. And the problem here, and the reason I'm so passionate about this, is ultimately this. A lot of us go to the grave completely sleepy without having experienced a life just a couple steps removed from autopilot. That's it. Most of us on this planet are in autopilot, and we will die there thinking that that's it. And I'm not saying that you got to suddenly go out and run for president, that if you want to, go for it. I'm saying that it's just one or two habits every single day, one or two habits every single day that's going to bring you to the witness consciousness, this place of consciousness inside of us that actually allows us to peer in on our lives and give us choice to ask the magic question, is there another way to be? That question is power. Feel that just by you asking it. Every day and in multiple moments throughout the day. Is there another way to be? Is there another way to react? Is there another outcome here that's possible? You are living differently than 90% of the earth. 90% of the world's population. You are different. Think about that. And if you want to live differently, I bet you're going to have a different type of life. I bet you're actually going to have one that's happy. And yeah, that's going to look different than a lot of your friends and family. And yeah, that's a life that's different than a lot of the people you know. But look around at a lot of the people you know. Are they happy? Now, I've done a good job over the last 5 years of surrounding myself with really positive people. That's a really important lesson in high performance. It's really an important lesson in achieving the happiest life and the best life and the most radical life, I love to call it, that you can. A radical life is understanding that you are made up of the 4 or 5 people that you hang out with continuously. So at some point in your journey, and we talk about this a lot in the Rise Revolution membership that I have, it's a monthly reoccurring membership that you can join at any point, leave at any point. There's a 2-week free trial right now in the link below this video. You're going to see a link to join. Try it out. You got 2 weeks. If you don't like it, you can leave. No pressure. Okay, just make sure you cancel before those 2 weeks so you don't get charged. But I have a feeling you might like it because we talk about things like this. We talk about inside the membership. We talk about holistically everything that's needed to just take a step back from and look in and say, hey, with my social group, with my friends, is there another way to be here? What are we constantly talking about? What are we thinking about? Are my friends bettering their lives? Are they sitting around being the same old friends stuck on autopilot? You see, you are what you think about, and you are what you feel about, and you are what you dream about, and you are what you do. And if you're hanging out with a group of people that are negative, well, then you're hanging out with a bunch of brains that are thinking negativity. Sure, we'll go with that. And then you become that. You feel that. What you think repetitively, you become. Again, attention. This is really important to connect the dots here, that what you pay attention to is what you become. It's your reality. Why? Because what you think repetitively is letting your neurons form a circuitry for that thought, for that way of being. And if you repeat, you're literally learning how to be negative. And if you learn how to be negative over time, the neurons just stay in that pattern, and then you are on autopilot. And then every single day is predictable because you're not firing new neurons. You're not trying to get new neurons excited in a new pathway form with new thoughts and new behaviors and new ways of being. You're not. You're over here doing the same old thing. And so your future becomes predictable because you're not trying new things. You're not becoming anything new. You're certainly not having new thoughts. You're not hanging out with new people. You're not driving a new way to work. You're not eating new foods. You're not watching new podcasts. You're not listening to new podcasts. You're not doing anything new with your body. You're just over here doing the same old thing. And so your future, instead of it being exciting and new and filled with endless possibilities, which it really is, you're filled with predictability. And human beings hate predictability. On one level, our brain loves it, but our soul hates it. Remember day one, I told you that novelty and challenge are the hallmark of human happiness. We need to be able to find those things and plan it into our day often. And you being here today, by the way, congratulations. You being here today, by the way, is a sign that you know that you're trying to find newness. You're trying to find challenge. You're trying to find new ways of being because something in you said we have to, we must. And there's magic in the must, I say. There's always magic in the must. When you know what you must do, there's no going back. Your soul has spoken, right? It's grab the mic. We are doing something new. Mic drop. And you're like, all right, you're right. Something in you stirs you because you've been unhappy for too long and you've been on this autopilot for too long. And something inside of you is scared because why? If you keep going like this, let me ask you, if your life stays the way it's been going, are you going to be 20% happier next year? Are you either going to be 15? Or are you going to be 10? In the areas you're really struggling with right now, that might be money, that might be physical fitness, that might be mental health and stamina, that might be romantic interest. If you keep going with the routines and the behaviors and the thinking that you have about it right now, are you going to fix the problem? Are you going to expand into something else? Are you going to find the solution? Probably not, right? Most of us are so focused on what's wrong in our lives. This is important. Please pay attention to this right now. What's important is that you don't focus any longer on what's wrong in your life, because what you focus on, where your attention goes, energy flows. You know that saying, right? If not, write it down. It's not mine. It's just out there in the world. I don't know who said it, but it's cute and it rhymes. And so it'll stick in your brain. It's sticky. It rhymes. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And why is that important? Well, your energy, your attention is the most important commodity you have as a human being. Whatever you focus on, it magnifies that thing and it becomes your world because it becomes your story and it grows. All of your resources go into that and that becomes your power, your set point. That becomes, as Abraham Hicks says, your point of attraction. I call it your principle of power, your locus of power. It's like it's a vacuum. It's what sucks everything into you. What you focus on becomes your locus of power. Everything gets pulled into that. And now you're just attracting more of that. And some of us are walking around, a lot of us are walking around really sad. And then we're focused on we're sad. And because we're focused on how we're sad, we're actually pulling more sadness to us because we can only attract the energy that we're in. We can only attract the state we're in, right? Because all of our thoughts are on that circuitry. All of the energy in our soul and our hearts are matching to that circuitry. So all we have to do really is find a new way of thinking. And the way you do that, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, is to develop the witness consciousness. Because when you develop the witness consciousness through meditation, through the radical ritual system that I'm about to teach you again, take you through day 3 of, and I take you through it inside of the Rise membership. I take it to any of the places that I'm doing the live in person this summer. Come and show up and learn it in person from me and with the community. This is the practice that pulls on the ancient roots of yoga and meditation and uses embodied cognition, uses the current modern science that we have to really show us that our body can help overwrite the story. Our body can help us expand into the magic question, is there another way to be? So is there? Whatever you're worried about right now in life, What is the alternative thought? What is the other way of being with it? Well, I'm worried about not having money. Okay, I hear you. And trust me, I've been there. And sometimes I'm there more often than I want to be right now in my life. But I've had to learn to flip the script. Instead of saying, okay, I don't have money, I say I have wealth all the time. In fact, I am wealth. I am wealth, not money. I am the point of wealth because wealth is an energy. If you studied any type of wealth consciousness, and you need to, by the way, you must, magic in the must, you must study and uncover wealth consciousness. I would highly recommend starting with Happy Pocket Full of Money. It's a great book. But you learn that wealth is an energy, wealth is an intention, and wealth is you. You are the creation of wealth. You are also the creator of time. Einstein told us that with his theory of relativity. You are really the most powerful one in your story, in your reality. And so are you, and so are you, and so is everyone around you, right? But it's your job to guard your greatness. That's my term for guarding your greatness. And what I mean by that is to really make sure, be the watcher, be that witness consciousness. Where are my thoughts right now? Because what I pay attention to grows. And so I'm going to keep paying attention to the negative things in my life. The negative things will only grow. This is how it works. This is the laws of the universe. So I'm going to pay attention over here to the things that might feel like a stretch right now, but they're also true. That I don't need to wait for money to show up to feel wealthy, because wealth is me. Wealth is who I am. And if you start to feel that, all of a sudden you start to look around and you see the abundance around you. You can't see it behind this camera, but I have a lot of wealth behind me. I have beautiful artwork. I have some Hindu statues from my love of practicing yoga for 2 decades. I actually have a pile of papers over here. And it might not seem at first glance like wealth, but those papers are filled with ideas. And those ideas, if I put them to use, will probably generate me money because there are courses in there. There's workshops in there. There's one-on-one stuff in there. And I've got my taxes in there that actually showed that I made a profit last year in my business and I owe this year, but I owe because I made a profit. Do you see what I'm saying? There's so much evidence around me. I've got all these gemstones and I've got gifts. These are gifts from people in my life, friends and family who love me and I love them. And I've got cards of gratitude for my one-on-one client. Shout out to Alyssa. Okay. And she has a gift that she gave me over there. I have all of these symbols of wealth around me all the time. And that's because I am wealth. I am an energy. Now, this is what I'm demonstrating to you. This is the other way of being. My bank account might say something much different, but I'm not waiting for my bank account to show me that I'm a wealthy person. I have to decide right now, just like yesterday, we talked about deciding. I have to decide that right now I'm going to be the best version of myself. I have to decide right now that I'm going to be a wealthy person. I have to decide right now that I'm going to be a happy person. I have to decide right now that I am going to be the creator of my destiny because I am right now. And I decide. And then when I decide, I let myself feel the emotions of that. That's just important. Write this down. Feel, once you decide, you got to feel the emotions. And then once you feel it, I want you to visualize every day what's going to happen now as a result of being wealthy and being happy and being radical in your life. This is the most radical move you can do. Is to decide that you can change your thoughts and you can change your emotional state, and you can just like that. Now, as you practice this, it gets easier because your brain is like, oh, we're doing the thing again where we practice. Yay. The brain says, I'm so excited. I love when she practices. I love when we practice this because I get to feel the dopamine and I get to feel some testosterone, and I get to feel some other happy hormones that surge through my brain, and my prefrontal cortex lights up, and my amygdala calms down a little bit, but my reticular activating system, these are all great parts of the brain to know about. The RAS, or the reticular activating system, lights up and starts to pay attention to what you're paying attention to. And now we train the brain. This is where things become easier. This is where suddenly you wake up every day and you're like, I feel happier. How? It's because you're training the brain with new ways of thinking, new ways of being, new ways of acting. And suddenly the group of friends that you wanted to hang out with, well, they just aren't your friends anymore. And you didn't really wake up and decide one day. It's just slowly, insidiously, it slips into a different way of being, and you're just different. And your friends will go, she's just different now. We miss her, but she's just different. How's she different? Someone asks. She's just too just positive all the time. It's so weird. And good. Those are the moments where I would say to you, good, keep going, because you've changed your life. You've rewritten the story. You're becoming who you're meant to be. Everyone else is in autopilot and sleepy, and they're not mean people. They're not evil people. They're not dumb people. They just don't know any better, but you do. You've got these tools now. And I can promise you with my life right now that if you keep going with these skills that I'm teaching you and this mindset, and you develop the witness consciousness, and it doesn't take long, it just takes practice. That's all. Are you willing to spend your life practicing this? Because if you do, I promise you all the wealth. I promise you all the happiness. I promise you all the love. I promise you all the opportunities and the joys in your life. They'll come to you instantaneously as you raise your energy and your vibration, and as you peer in on your thoughts and you ask, what am I paying attention to? And then you change it into what you want to be paying attention to. And then you ask yourself, well, what's the outcome if I do that? Nothing but love, nothing but positivity, nothing but success and abundance. That's what's coming. It's an abundant mindset, an abundant heart set, an abundant energy set. And gosh, that's pretty good, because what if that keeps going? What if every day I wake up and I decide to reroute my thoughts into the most positive thing, into optimism and love and faith and belief that this is all possible? What would happen? Where would you be in just 2 weeks of this? Yeah. I tell you where you'd be, because I see it all the time and I've seen it in myself. You are a radically happy person, and you're making really positive decisions in your life, and you're parenting different. And you're actually leading by really awesome example. I've seen that with the women that come in, the parents who do my programs, my coaching programs, the masterminds and the one-on-ones. They become better parents. They become better lovers. They become more, and actually they just start to lead by example. They don't need to go around and say, pick up your toys, but it's because they change and their behaviors change. And the kids see that. Mom's changed. Dad's changed. Grandma's changed. And she's different. They're acting different. And I see them just happier. And suddenly the kids want to be just like you. And suddenly the kids, you hear them, they talk to their friends and they say, well, is there another way of being? And you're like, holy shit, she just said the thing that I said. I didn't even realize I taught them that. That's actually what I see all the time in my clients. It's miraculous. And it's like, that is the most powerful legacy you will leave on this planet. But you don't have to be a parent. I'm not a parent. You don't have to be a parent to reap the benefits of this, right? Health and vitality is right there. Health and vitality is right there. All that you want is right there. So first, we need to step back. What's the topic today? Attention. And in order to get your attention right on the right things, we have to develop the witness consciousness. That's right. The watcher, the observer. Now, to do that, you need to have an energy practice that expands your awareness. When we are constricted and we're contracted, we actually don't feel the witness consciousness. We're the story. Okay. We're the negativity. So we got to step back and remove us from that story and get some space. That's why the radical ritual method works. I'm just about to take you through a practice right now. It works. We're not going to have time for the soul method. I'm sorry. It's going to go over an hour, but I promise you, I will make a recording and have it here on the YouTube channel. Okay. Coming up, maybe even after this, I'll sit down and do a recording. But those of you that are in the Rise Revolution, you have access to all these types of meditations. So join me for 2 weeks. I got a free trial. Okay. Step on into the program, give it a try for 2 weeks. If you don't like it, you can leave, but I'm really begging you here to, don't you want to make a change in your life? Isn't it time to try something new? Isn't it time to dedicate your time to you in the morning, every day, in the afternoon, in the evening? Isn't it exciting to think about who you might be at the end of these 2 weeks? That's all it takes is a couple of weeks of new behaviors. It takes about a month then to repeat those new behaviors. And then after a month, science tells us that you're a different person. And you're a different person who's doing what they really want to be doing in life. That's all it takes. And this is a community that's thriving in these principles right now. So your attention is everything. We need to get you to a place where you can build your witness consciousness over time through meditation, through radical rituals. And it's fun. Okay. You know how this is. Day 1 and 2 has been fun, right? You've been having fun. Tell me in the comments below. Are you having fun doing this? This music is awesome, right? We're having fun moving. You've got me to guide you. Like, I'm silly and goofy and fun, and we're having fun together. A lot of fun, and really feeling like, okay, this is powerful. This is making me feel sexy. This is making me feel turned on by life. I'm excited again. I feel warmed up for my life again. That's where we're headed. Okay, so let's get into the radical ritual. Come on up to standing. And remember, you're going to start always with raising your energy. If we don't raise our energy, we're going to stay the story. So we want to get into the witness consciousness here, okay? Witness arms up and down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I'm just doing it seated right now so I can be close to you and keep connected to your energy right now. You could also go out in front of you if the shoulders are trapped and bother you, or no arms at all. You can just do it through the nose. Just like this. It's called breath of fire or bastrika. Bastrika. Say that. It's fun. Bastrika. Ha. Right? It sounds like karate chop. Yes. 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to hold that V position for victory. Lift the chest. Hold the breath in. Lift the throat. Lift the chest. Both vulnerable throat. No longer afraid of vulnerability. Exhale. Release. Ha. And then respond. Right. Respond. Yes. And your brain will want to kick in. Your brain will be like, is this weird? Am I doing this right? Just notice that. Remember, it's consciousness is you just noticing and then choosing something different. You say, I'm going to choose to just let my body be a body. I'm going to choose to just flow right now. All right, let's kick up the breath again. Stay, raise that energy. Go. All right, let me join you here. Okay. I got a chair today. Finally got a chair. Finally figured this all out. Okay, good. Raise that energy. Ray, you could go faster if you want to. Don't let me stop you. Your breath matches the arms. You're pumping really fast, saturating your blood with oxygen, getting every single iron and oxygen on those iron groups in your blood. 3, 2, 1. Hit that V. Victory. Like you just ran and crossed through the finish line. That's how you want to feel here. Bam. Exhale, release. And then respond. Let it flow. Let it flow. Ooh, yes. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. Good. Remember, you can always just follow along with my motions. I like to keep them really simple in the beginning. And I get myself warmed up. I get myself out of my head and into my body. Your body knows what to do. Just let it be a body right now. Okay. So now, as we're moving, this is where the visualization comes in. Visualize your day. We're taking it one day at a time. Visualize your day. How do you want your day to feel? How do you want your day to feel? List off the feelings in your mind. You can say them out loud. That's even better. Yes, good. Keep going. Nothing is too big. You can have any feeling you want right now. Any feeling you want is yours right now. Just declare it. Declare it. Okay, let's go back to step 1. Raise that energy. Go. We take that circle. Reading all areas of your room. Seeing all the evidence of wealth around you, right? Feeling electricity. Why is there some people on this planet that doesn't have access to electricity? This is wealth. You are wealthy. Let's go. Woo! Can you feel grateful right now for that? Oh, I'm so grateful for electricity. Allowing me to speak to you right now. Allowing me to access the internet so that we can commune like this and get this going in our lives. This is so cool. 3, 2, 1. Hold that beat for victory. Hold it. And you're holding the breath in, and this stills the mind for a moment. Notice how your thoughts still when your breath is still. Exhale, release it all. Yes, there you go. Flow. Respond. Okay. So our energy field is growing. Our energy is growing. We're stepping out of the moment of life. We're getting into instead this higher vibration of the witness consciousness. Stretch your arms out wide to represent the expanding of energy. Let's do this together. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Arms go out, that's your inhale. Exhale and they come together. Want to go slower? That's fine too. Like this. Keep going faster, go faster. And I'm crossing one arm over, then the other. Alternating the arms at the top. Good. Warming up the muscles, warming up the joints. The brain's like, what are you doing? This is interesting. Okay. And now it's paying attention to the body. Now I'm letting my intuition just take over here. I'm just not thinking. I'm just letting my body tell me what it wants to do. Good. Keep going. Keep flowing. Now, how do you want your day to feel? Think about it again. Say it out loud even. Think about one goal you have now. And I want you to see yourself with your mind's eye. See yourself achieving that goal. See yourself having already achieved it, okay? Already achieved it. Already. It's already done. It's already done. What's happening as a result? It's already done. How are you feeling? You've already achieved it. Yes. All right, so keeping in stage 2 here. We're responding. Let the music, let the energy of achieving your goal light you up a little more. Let's go. Let's raise that energy. Trust yourself right now. Trust yourself. You know how to move. You follow along with me. But at some point, I want you to just do your own thing. Sometimes you just have to act like you have spaghetti arms, right? Just let them do things, just to warm it up. Pathways, get those pathways going. Yes, that's perfect. Keep going. Got a couple more minutes of this. Breathe in, out. Breathe. How you gonna feel when you're done achieving that one big goal? Or maybe it's a small goal. Maybe you got something like, I gotta clean out my closet, Kim. I hear you, I do too. So if you got that one closet filled with crap you don't need, you're gonna donate. See it done. How you gonna feel? Amazing, right? It's off your plate. You feel freedom. You feel good, right? You're gonna feel like, okay, I did what I said. I'm gonna feel accomplished. Now, how does an accomplished person move? See, this is how we're mapping our mind and our thoughts onto our body right now. How does an accomplished person move? They're a bit more expressive. Maybe your goal will leave you feeling more confident. So how does a confident person move? Ooh, like this. Yes. Okay, if your energy drops, this is on you. Okay, I'm not gonna always lead this. When your energy drops, I want you to raise it by pumping the arms, or like this, or just do the breath work. You got it. Got a couple more minutes here. Keep going, keep going. Dig deep, visualize it, feel the emotions right now of that accomplished goal. 3, 2, 1, hit that beat. Feel your whole body and imagine it lighting up with the color of your choice and energy of accomplishment and empowerment. Exhale, release. Respond. Yes. Close your eyes sometimes and just move. And if your mind's ever like, is this silly? Am I doing this right? Good. Because that's a sign you are doing something new. Brain's just asking the question. That's all. You don't need to let that be the reality. Is there another way to be? Another way to be. Can I be just in my body right now, not in my mind? We're becoming that witness consciousness right now. Observing the thoughts and then choosing Get back into the body. That's it. That's the practice right there. Observe your thoughts. And then choose to get back into the body. Let your body do body things. Okay, and in a moment, we're going to have a recalibration, okay? All right. Here we go. Here we go.
Try to understand. Hey, what are you
Pick it up a little bit. Okay, you ready? Find the rhythm. All right, now on the count of 3, you're gonna do your broken, ugly, jagged dance, and I want you to just go for it, okay? Go a little insane for me. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. You can also just jump up and down like this, and you can scream, and you can make animal noises. You can do anything you want here. Just kind of get it out, get the frustration out. Keep your core engaged to support that spine. Woo! Make it ugly. We don't need anything beautiful right now. Screw that. Screw trying to conform. We just need it to be all aggressive right now. Keep going. And then back to flow. Flow. Yes. Beautiful. Breathe. Breathe. Feel it. Feel the results of that. All right, we're celebration mode right now. We got 1 more minute of this. Recalibration, you ready? This is you showing your nervous system to march to the beat of your own drum, and it's safe. You don't need to conform. You don't need to look like anyone else. You're radical, baby. You red and bad. You red and bad? You red and bad? Yeah, you are. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Go crazy. Get loose. Anything you want to do, just go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. Anything. Anything. Get out of your mind and into your body. Yes. 3, 2, 1. And go back to flow. With that rhythm. Yeah. Woo, you feel that? That's exciting, huh? There's electricity in the body. You are totally safe in your unique, authentic expression always. Arms up in that V. With that V. Side step to side to side. Get your breath. Woo! How do you want today to feel? Can you feel it right now? Let's go. Let's go. You can decide to feel that way. As if you've achieved a major goal right now. You don't have to wait. That's the secret. You don't have to wait. You feel that expansive energy. You feel that. Okay, slow it down. Slow it down. And deep breath in. Deep breath in and out. Arms float up on the inhale. Exhale. Lower them down. Inhale. Bring it up. Great job. Exhale. Let it out. And let your mind scan your body right now. Feel all different types of sensation flowing. Deepest breath in, deepest breath in. Beautiful. Exhale, let it out with a sigh. Now this time I want you to twist. Arms come up, twist to your left. Exhale as the arms come down. Back to center before you inhale, lift them up. Beautiful. Exhale, twist to your right. Exhale, arms come down slowly. One more time on each side. Imagine these are beautiful eagle wings lifting, powerful, majestic, discerning, empowered, right? Eagles are so empowered. They're never questioning. There's no time to question. Totally plugged into the moment. So are you right now. And now you're in your witness consciousness. And this is also the energy of level 4 of the radical ritual. Arms come down at your side. Just relax here, touch and connect with your temple any way you want right now. You might want to come over to your journal and your pen, or just stay standing how you are in the moment. This is level 4 of radical ritual method, reclaiming. You feel it, right? You're fully occupied in who you really are right now. Doesn't mean all of the questioning and all of the doubt has gone, but you're primarily that powerful energy, right? You can feel that right now. And this is the witness consciousness also. It's almost as if your entire body is echoing the question of, is there another way to be? Yes, there is. So let me ask you, now that you know that the choice is there, the power is there, I have choice. You can feel that? Can you feel it? Tell me in the chat, tell me below in the comment section, can you feel the occupying of the space, the knowledge, the knowing that you have choice? Can you feel that? You're safe in your choice. You're safe to choose another way of being. You're safe. Say it out loud to yourself. I am safe to choose another way to be that's positive for me. I am safe choosing another way to be that is positive for me. I am safe in choosing another way to be that's positive for me. Go ahead and write down what that choice is. How are you going to feel today? How are you going to be today? And what is the one small action item you are now going to do as a result of how you feel right now? Write that down. Tell us in the chat. Tell us in the comments. Fantastic job today. I am extremely proud of you. I hope that you join me inside of the Rise Holistic Empowerment membership. Take advantage of that 2-week free trial. Come check it out. Be with me live twice a month. And there's this deep library of recorded content and replays that are available for you right now, including an energy hub with energy practices and radical rituals and meditations, etc. Community is forming. There's going to be a lot more that's happening inside of that space as well to come over this rest of this year. But also, if you're local or want to travel, join me in person this Friday at the Crescent Collective and this Tuesday at the beautiful Brightbeck Park overlooking Lake Ontario here in Oswego, New York. I'm going to be leading these radical ritual practices in person for 2 hours. Workbooks, refreshment, community, integration, and discussion. No doubt, it's going to be very powerful. This will be the breakthrough for many of you who come. This will be the breakthrough of your year. It'll set you on the right path. I've seen it time and time again. You're going to be no different. If you're feeling the call, come. And if you want to, just make sure that below this video, there's a link to sign up to subscribe to my e-newsletter so you can stay on track with everything that I'm offering and not miss out on in-person events, online events and workshops, masterminds coming up. We've got a weekend retreat and something really special planned for next year out of the country. So stay tuned, follow me for more. And if you like this video, if you like all of these, do me a favor, share it with someone you know who could use this. I'd really appreciate that. Give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more information and more videos just like this. I post a video every single week and sometimes more. So this has been an honor to serve you. Let me know, please, in the comments below, what are your biggest takeaways and breakthroughs from this video? What are you dedicating yourself towards now? What is the goal? What is the mission? Let's hold yourself accountable. Tell me in the comments below. And I can't wait to read. You guys, remember what's at risk if you don't do this work. Remember how powerful it is. Remember why this work is important. And that'll guide you forward through and through and through every single time. You guys are rad and bad. And I love you so much. Thank you for being here and see you on the path.